Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Coach Bryan Turner with another edition of the Bryan Turner Basketball Podcast. So, I had a great opportunity to go down and watch the Nike Elite 100 here in St. Louis, and I pretty much like going down there for a lot of different reasons, not just to go down there and see the next up and coming top talent in the country, but I like to go down there and kind of just do a little politicking, going down there to kind of get a feel of what the basketball scene is like, get some of that energy that's in there, and like I said, just pretty much kind of talk to some of the coaches about basically what is going on in today's game. So having a pulse on what's going on. So got a chance to talk to a few coaches and got their insight on what they thought about the NBA draft, because the NBA draft took place Wednesday. I believe it was June 23rd, and either June 23rd or June 24th, one of the two. And it was a lot of different hot takes that I got. And so I want to kind of talk about some of the things that some of the coaches talked about, and then pretty much my take on what I thought about the NBA draft. Okay. So a lot of coaches pretty much when they watch the NCAA tournament, when they watch some of these players, they have to do a lot of game planning. And even for some of the coaches that are down in the EYBL, Nike Elite 100, some of these guys coach these kids. And so to be able to get a good gauge on what's going on and what they see, where the game is transitioning to, based on guys wanting to play in the professional ranks. And so everyone knew about the AJs and the Daryl Petersons and the Carlos Boozers, Cameron Boozers, and some of the top players. But it was interesting what some of the coaches were pretty much saying about just the way that the draft format is, And so, like I said, everybody pretty much agreed that we had a lot of top talent in this draft. They were competitive. Coaches said that the guy AJ was pretty much one of the best defenders that they've seen. Another coach said that BYU season just kind of, it could have just fell apart if AJ just pretty much just shut down. And so, but he played the entire year. Not so much for Peterson with Kansas. And we saw all of the different things that went on with him throughout the course of the year, him showing flashes, him showing what he can do, but then him sitting down. All right. And so we a lot of the coaches pretty much was saying, you got two different type of players that's at the top of these draft boards that we're watching in real time, that are positioning themselves as the number one overall draft pick, and one that has the talent of the number one overall draft pick. But some things are kind of funky and kind of going on that they were not pleased about. And then you have other guys like someone like Boozer, who pretty much did everything possible this year when it comes to awards. Best freshman of the year, pretty much one of the best college players of the year, on one of the best teams of the year. He felt that he should have went one of the top spots and kind of felt like he was overlooked. All right. But one thing that pretty much kind of stood out is that everyone is just talking about how bad, and it's funny that how bad of a drop off the first round was to the second round. And that the second round got even weaker this year. Now, one thing coaches mentioned is that, you get the NBA draft that is weak. Why is it weak? Well, it's weak because it's so much NIL money in college basketball. Years ago, the 48th pick would probably have left to say that he was on an NBA team. But now the 48th pick is going back to school because he didn't like where he got drafted. And it's crazy that is going on, but this is the climate that we're in right now, where we're getting things that would never have happened when we played that is happening now, that a guy is getting drafted and said, nope, I'd rather go back to college where I can make a lot more money and I can kind of pretty much do my thing down there, have more experience. And then the value for someone like that, if you know that you're going to be the top let's say in the top 30 or the top 25, then you have a guaranteed roster spot, then absolutely go. But guys getting picked in the second round, feeling like, man, I can go ahead and just go back to school. But what do we miss out on? We get guys that the Jalen Brunsons, some of the high profile guys that got picked in the second round that made impacts for NBA teams that are making well over tons of tens of millions of dollars by being second round draft picks. And so what are we seeing now? We're seeing an entirely different type of mentality that's coming out with these players, right? So again, we talk about that the ecosystem is changing. All right. So again, every offseason, we get another lawsuit based on this whole NIL discussion. All right. The transfer portal. I mean, that was a big hot topic pretty much every year. And everybody is chasing something. And I don't think that we're close to the end of people constantly chasing something. You know, we've talked about the class of 2022 getting kind of stuck in the middle. Where do they go from here? What is going to happen with the high school kids? Will they start getting recruited? Will more guys that are projected to go in the second round go through the process, get drafted, and then go back to school? How does that look on the other end when now someone has your draft rights and you want out of maybe that organization, or just having that tag on you, basically saying that someone owns you? Okay. So again, these are a lot of different moving pieces that I don't think is going to change anytime soon. We're going to see different variations of these rules coming into play, where things are going to happen, rules are going to change, and then the lawsuit is going to happen. And we're going to have to just watch these things play out over the course of time. But in the meantime, when that is going on, people are finding a way to take advantage of these rules and trying to find a way to not cheat the system, but get some type of ahead of the system, within the system, I should say. So this is going to be interesting. Let me know your thoughts on this. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Share this with another basketball coach. Let's see what they think about this. They may say, man, that coach don't know what he's talking about. If you getting picked in the second round, let's stay in the NBA draft, looking forward to playing in the second round and not going back to school. Let's hear from you guys, man. What do you guys think about this whole situation with folks saying that the second round is just as weak and that players should be trying to go back to college if they're going to get picked in the second round? Thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I will check you on the next one.